What if insults, criticism, and negativity could just pass right through you like ghosts? Imagine having a mental shield that makes you untouchable. A fortress inside your mind where you stay calm, centered, and in control no matter what chaos is happening outside. This isn't some superpower for ancient philosophers or enlightened monks. It's a skill. And it's a skill that was perfected over 2,000 years ago by the Stoics, people like emperors, slaves, and soldiers who had to face war, plague, and political backstabbing without losing their inner peace. In this video, we're not just going to talk about philosophy, we're going to build that shield. I'm going to show you 5 Stoic secrets to becoming immune to negativity so you can find your own tranquility and strength no matter what life or other people throw at you. Before we can build a shield, we have to understand the forge. Let's get one thing straight. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless or detached. It's about emotional resilience. It's the art of having feelings without letting them control you. The great Stoic thinkers. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor. Seneca, a brilliant advisor who faced his own death with incredible calm. And Epictetus, a man born a slave who became one of the most influential teachers of his time, all knew a fundamental truth. Our suffering doesn't come from what happens to us. It comes from how we think about what happens to us. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That one idea is the entire foundation for our shield. Negativity, insults, and what other people do are all external. They're like the weather, totally unpredictable and completely out of our hands. The Stoics teach us that trying to control them is a waste of time. Instead, true power lies in mastering the one and only thing we have absolute control over, our own mind. It's about building a mental fortress where you are the gatekeeper. You decide what gets in and what stays out. So, let's lay the first stone. The first secret to building your shield is this: nothing is actually good or bad on its own. It's our interpretation that makes it seem that way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means an insult is really just a bunch of sounds. A critical email is just pixels on a screen. They have no power by themselves. We're the ones who give them power when we attach a story to them, a story about being attacked, disrespected, or ignored. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. The event itself is neutral, a car moved into your lane. But the knee-jerk reaction? Anger, frustration. You invent a story? That person is a reckless jerk. They could have hurt me. Your blood pressure spikes and your mood is ruined. The Stoic, however, learns to pause. In that tiny gap, they see the event for what it is. A car changing lanes, and they refuse to write the angry story. Instead, they might think, maybe they're rushing to the hospital, or maybe they're just having a bad day. Their driving is a reflection of them, not me, and I can't control it. This isn't about making excuses for people. It's about protecting your own peace. An insult can only hurt you if you agree that you've been harmed. When you realize that other people's words are just their opinions, filtered through their own baggage, their own pain, their own issues, those words lose their sting. The event is a rock thrown in a pond. Your interpretation is the ripple. You can choose to be a still, unshakable pond, or you can let a tiny pebble create a tsunami. The choice is always yours. Your first layer of armor is separating the raw facts from the emotional story. The second secret is probably the most practical tool the Stoics gave us, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus put it simply, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Think of your life as 2 columns. In one column are all the things you can't control: the weather, the economy, what other people think of you, whether they're rude or kind. In the other column are the things you can control: your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, and the person you decide to be. Nearly all of our emotional suffering comes from mixing up these 2 columns. We burn so much energy trying to control what other people think or do. We get upset when reality doesn't go our way. That's like trying to tell the wind to stop blowing. The Stoic, instead, pours all of that energy into the column they can control. Your mind is a fortress, and you're the commander. You decide which thoughts to entertain and which to kick out. You decide whether to respond to an insult with anger or with grace. Let's say you're up for a promotion, but your colleague gets it. You can't control your boss's decision. Wasting your time feeling resentful is focusing on the uncontrollable. The Stoic move is to pivot immediately back to your column. You can control your reaction. You can ask for feedback. You can work on improving your skills. You can even congratulate your colleague with genuine class. By focusing only on what's in your power, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the author of your own life. The third secret is a powerful mental exercise that shrinks your problems down to their real size. The Stoics called it the view from above. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth, would use this technique to escape the petty drama of his court. He'd imagine himself floating up, looking down on the entire world, seeing all the little people scurrying around with their tiny battles and insignificant arguments. From that cosmic perspective, how important is that rude comment from a stranger? How devastating is that social media post? They all shrink into almost nothing. This exercise detaches you from your ego. When you feel insulted, your ego screams that this is the most important thing happening in the world. The view from above quiets that scream down to a whisper. You don't need to be an emperor to do this. The next time you feel buried by negativity, a fight with a family member, a wave of anxiety, just try it. Close your eyes. Imagine you're floating up, above your home, above your society. See all the lights and all the people living their own complicated lives. Float higher until you can see the continents, until the earth is just a beautiful blue marble in the silence of space. Now, from that calm, quiet vantage point, think about the problem that was eating you alive. See how small it is in the grand scheme of things? This isn't to say your feelings don't matter, but it puts them in context. It's a reminder that most of our daily struggles are temporary. By practicing this, you loosen negativity's grip on your mind, reminding you not to sweat the small stuff, because from high enough, it's all small stuff. The fourth secret completely redefines what strength looks like. In a world that often tells us to fight fire with fire, the Stoics offer a much more powerful response. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The best revenge is to be unlike the person who performed the injury. When someone is cruel, dishonest, or just plain mean, our first instinct is often to hit back with the same energy. But the Stoics saw this as a total failure. Why? Because when you sink to their level, you're letting them decide who you are. Their negativity infects you. You become the very thing you claim to hate. In that scenario, you've already lost. Real power, real revenge is to meet their negativity with your virtue. If they're rude, you stay polite. If they lie, you stay honest. If they're hateful, you remain calm and rational. This isn't being weak, it's the ultimate form of strength. It's you declaring that your character and your inner peace are not for strength. It's you declaring that your character and your inner peace are not for sale. You refuse to let someone else's bad behavior corrupt your soul. Think about it. If someone throws mud at you, do you win by grabbing a handful of mud and throwing it back? Or do you win by staying clean? Your calm is your shield. Your integrity is your weapon. When you refuse to play their game, you show them that their attacks have no power. Their arrows just bounce right off your armor. You keep your dignity, you protect your peace, and you walk away stronger. So, what's the real secret to becoming immune to negativity? It's the deep down realization that your mind belongs to you and you alone. Mastering your interpretations, focusing on what you can control, taking the view from above, and refusing to sink to your enemy's level. These are the cornerstones of your own mental fortress. Now, this shield isn't built in a day. It takes daily practice. It's about consciously choosing self-control over impulse, reason over rage, and virtue over vengeance, day after day, weaving over rage and virtue over vengeance, day after day. Emotional resilience isn't about pretending negativity doesn't exist. It's about understanding that while you can't control the storms out in the world, you are always the captain of your own ship. You can't stop the arrows from being fired, but you can build armor so strong they never reach your heart. You are the architect of your own peace. If you got some value from this video, give it a like to help other people find it, and subscribe for more practical wisdom to build a stronger, more tranquil mind. Now, for one final bit of practice, go down to the comments and write this affirmation: I am the fortress. Let that be your declaration, your commitment to building your inner strength. Let's create a community of resilient minds. Together, protect your peace.